Welcome to a new music room. Oh, that's the wrong video. It's here, or what is here? Now, we are only kind of filming in this music room here to do a short video because Natalie's asleep. I don't want to wake her up, by being loud in another room. A package from Prime, and it's almost Christmas. What does that mean? Well, I'll tell you a little bit. This is a video game video. I'll tell you a little bit about kind of RPGs, role-playing games, and my love for them, and kind of like where I started. And I've probably said it 2 or 3 times in a variety of videos. So my first RPG experiences would have been with a Texas Instrument TI-99 for a computer before I knew what role-playing games were. Like Tunnels of Doom was like one of the first ones. And there were some Atari 2600 RPG-esque type adventure games or whatever as well. But true first RPG was probably Tunnels of Doom. Then there was like the Tandy Coco Dungeons of Daggeroth, which was kind of like an RPG as well. So I got introduced to this series in the NES days, and this is actually a HD 2D remake of, let's open it up and see what it is. Ta-da! Dragon Quest 3. Now they have it on probably PC in a bunch of versions, but physical copy, they have Switch, they have Xbox, and PS5, I think. Not sure if there's a PS4 version. But, there may be some other versions, Androids or something. I don't know. I don't mess with digital, even though the world is sort of going to digital only. So, Dragon Warrior 1, Dragon Quest is what they were called in Japan. Dragon Warrior 1 is the first, probably NES game, RPG that I played. And I got into it, unless it was like Ultima Exodus or something. I can't remember which one came first, but Dragon Quest, I would think, is the superior one versus Ultima Exodus. Now, I have nostalgia for Dragon Warrior 1 and Dragon Warrior 2 especially. I've played through and beaten Dragon Warrior, the first one, several times. My older brother played through it probably a few times, and we may have even played through it together. Then, when I was a teenager, I kind of went to it again with another friend of mine, and we said, we're going to just see how many levels we can do to max level out this game. Don't think we ever did, because it's a pretty short game, and you don't have to be very far along to beat it or to get lucky or whatever. I think there's a minimal level you have to be to get to the dragon. It's been so long I can't remember, but we did it basically getting lucky strikes. So we may have went through to the dragon several times, got our butts kicked, and then finally got enough lucky strikes to kill the dragon. Then Dragon Warrior 2 came around, and I traded a friend of mine that had it, something, I don't remember, probably another Nintendo game. And I really enjoyed the multi-party system versus only having the single character you play in the first one. And I think Natalie just woke up. I was trying to not wake her up by doing the video, but I guess just between starting this video and right here, I heard, because she uses a rain sound machine, and she turned it off. Anyway, I did get Dragon Warrior 3 on the Nintendo, but I played it very little. Probably had so many games and other things to do at the time that I never got to do it. So this isn't as nostalgic as the first two, as I said, but hopefully I can revisit it, and see what it's about, see if I can get through it, play. I have very little time, and I wouldn't have paid the full price for it, which was like $59. It has gone on sale a few times for like $49. And I found it on, I don't know if it's a Black Friday sale, but some kind of Christmas sale for $26. And I let it sit for 24 hours just thinking about it, not knowing if the next day the sale would still be there. But luckily it was on Amazon. And then when I went to buy it, it says there's a coupon available for $3.99. So after taxes and all, this cost me $22.50. So there was no way I could say no. I couldn't hold out any longer. Hopefully in about a year, the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake will be in a similar price range, because I can't wait to get them, and I just can't justify the big price right now. Well, I started this video several days ago, way before Christmas, and I just abruptly cut it on that last cut because Natalie woke up and called me, I believe. So it's several days later, a week later, something like that. And since the kids opened their stocking stuffers, I'll show you some of the games that I got them. So this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate Deluxe Edition. Now for my youngest son, he's into Shadow, so we got Sonic Shadow Generations. Now this probably caused a little bit of a, I don't know, because my middle son loves Sonic and my youngest son loves Shadow, so I ended up giving my youngest son this one, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles went to my middle son, and he wasn't quite happy about that. And I think Nellie's already calling me again. Huh? Oh, hold on. Okay, you guys aren't gonna see, I don't know. Every time I try to video something, I get called to do something, so. All right, I'm back. So, I don't know where I was, but I'm sure I was right here. Hot Wheels Unleashed. This is for our oldest son, and I couldn't get the Xbox version on a good deal. So, I got Black Friday deals with all these, I believe. The PS5 version was on sale, so I got it. Of course, the kids don't have a PS5, but I do, so there have been a few cases where I found something on the PS5 or something, or Switch, and bought those versions because they were cheaper at the time. But I think last year my oldest son expressed some interest in racing and even some monster truck games and stuff. I didn't find any monster truck games yet, but Hot Wheels Unleashed looks like it might be a fun little game. Back to Dragon Quest. You know, I have two Xbox Ones. I got the one I gave my kids last Christmas, which, I guess you could call it Christmas 2024, not the one that just passed here. I still consider this kind of the holiday season, and at least until New Year's. But I have the the Xbox One X, and I've missed a few opportunities to get the Series X, at the local pawn shops. Just like 2 or 3 months ago, I found one for a pretty decent deal. I should have just put on layaway, but I've been, I guess, purchasing or putting other things on layaway for Natalie, and yada yada. The car, if you've been keeping up with this channel, you know that our van had some 3 major issues recently, where we went to a mall and we couldn't even park because it turned out the gear shifting cable, I guess, broke while we were in the parking lot before we even got the car in. So I parked way off in the distance, kind of sideways, because I couldn't get it to reverse, and then I couldn't get it to drive forward, and eventually it didn't do anything at all. And we had already had major problems with our CV axles, so 3 major repairs. They said the CV axles were rusted. They had to take a blowtorch to get them loose. So, but yeah, big expenses, big stress. And then luckily we had that PEP scholarship for the state of Florida for our kids. Otherwise, they would have got a pretty lousy Christmas. And I know a lot of people say it's not about the toys, it's not about how many gifts you get. Sure, and the kids know that, clothes and stuff like that are important for everyday life. They're not, that spoiled or whatever. But they also want toys, and they would be disappointed without having toys. So we got a bunch of sort of therapeutic and educational and kind of in the electives range. And even like we got a zip line, through the scholarship. PE or physical education, kind of all inclusive. Anything that could be considered, educational, therapeutic, or something for an elective class, those things are included in the My Scholarship program. So they got a good Christmas because of it. However, they're not super into video games, and I think what I'm going to do is take their Xbox out of their bedroom and put it into a smaller TV we had set up for their PEP program in the living room. That way we can kind of control it and watch it, and maybe even set it up more frequently, if the kids are behaving and stuff, so that they can play. And I'll probably even play on the little TV. I don't like setting up my big home theater system to play a game, or especially like role-playing games that take forever. That's the big TV and the projector, they pretty much hardly ever get used at all. We use small TVs, and with Natalie's eyesight going out, she's legally blind now, so she really doesn't like watching TV anymore. I would be happy a lot of times just playing my Nintendo Switch, but I'm not going to let the kids play the Switch because it's somewhat fragile. The kids like to throw things and all. If they break a controller, it's probably $20 for a used one at a pawn shop, $60 or so for a new one, versus like breaking a whole Nintendo Switch gaming console system, handheld, whatever you want to call it, hybrid. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying Dragon Quest sometime soon, hopefully, once I get everything, because I got an Xbox mounting plate that mounts on the wall. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that here or just maybe get a media shelf, because this TV's in an area where I can't just like set the Xbox, wherever. It's mounted pretty high up on a wall. But yeah. What a year. I mean, hopefully things will get better for us, for whoever's having problems in 2025. Hopefully everybody, you guys will have a great 2026. Just, we started a new church, and, we're kind of trying to, evolve a little bit as a family here. Take care, guys.